Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for joining me. As always, your presence is appreciated. We are going to go ahead and get into this book review because that's why you tuned in, right? To see the book review. So I am going to be reviewing the book called Bevelations, Lessons from a Mother, Auntie, and Bestie by Bevy Smith. And this is the cover of the book. And yes, that is her on the cover of her own book, looking marvelous. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this book review. So, this is a biography, which gives insight to the culmination of Bevy Smith. Now, Bevy has given herself many names over the years, but this is the one she is currently professionally using. I first recall seeing Bevy on the Fashion Queens show, and I thought, she's different, in a good way. The way she spoke, it kind of seemed like she had a lisp, but she was working it. I mean, it just added to her character. It added to her uniqueness on the show. So the way she spoke, I could, I loved it. I'll just say it. I love her sound. And especially when she says the word body. And yes, while reading the book, whenever that word came up, that is how I said it in my head, like body. But, oh well, let's continue. So, as you can see by the cover of the book, she has body for sure. And she displays it tastefully. Cleavage, oh my god, like, I need to know where you get your bras from, Bevy. Like, hit me up so I can shop at where you shop for those brassieres, because they are making you sitting nice and right. Okay? She has an air or poise of confidence that draws you in. And it drew me in when I watched the show. And it draws you in while reading this book as well. Sometimes you wonder when you see people on TV and then, the show doesn't get picked up for another season or whatever reason, you don't see them anymore. And then you think, well, what happened to that person? Like, what is that person doing? Well, Bevy wrote a book to give you the scoop on what has been happening in her life and career. So I enjoyed the glimpse into her life. She was candid about the success as well as the roadblocks and ups and downs of her financial status. Most people don't want to say that they went broke or sold their high dollar goods to keep afloat. But even though Bevy fell from Fendi to Findy, she didn't give up. I believe wholeheartedly that sometimes we have to go through things so we can learn lessons that will prepare and propel us to be ready for the greater. And as Bevy has coined in this book, it gets greater later. So there's a ton of name dropping, which in another context would be kind of annoying. However, it is a part of her story. So she knew these people, and without saying their names, it would take away from the story, because we wouldn't have any idea about what she's talking about if she didn't reveal the names of the people. So even though I couldn't identify who a majority of these people were, because they were industry people. They were, whether it was behind the scenes producers, or when she worked at magazines, some of the editors, and just a plethora of professional people that I know nothing about, to be quite honest. But it was interesting to get a peek into that fashion and entertainment world. I love the fact that Bevy's work ethic and integrity got her connected to other professionals in the industry that helped, aided, or guided her in the love Bevy got from her connections in the industry is fantastic. I mean, they definitely showed her love. And I believe it was because of her integrity and work ethic. I like how she didn't have an I'll do it all on my own attitude. She asked for help. She asked for knowledge. She asked for insight and feedback to understand and grow in her field, which is commendable, because a lot of people in the world, they don't want to ask for help. They don't want anybody to know that they don't know something. So, in my opinion, Bevy presented herself as teachable, and thus other professionals poured into her. They poured into whatever they could offer, they offered. This book has some nuggets of what Bevy calls Bevelations that can be useful for someone looking into going into the entertainment industry, as well as self-growth in your everyday life. I personally liked the section on 4 agreements that she spoke about in the book. Do the work was a very poignant revelation. She gives you something to think about in terms of branding, self-awareness, career goals, personal goals, finances, relationships. So she gives you a snapshot of a gamut of areas in her life. I like the part about how you want to be perceived versus how people actually perceive you. Now that was a whole nugget right there. That was a nugget, okay? She also touched on promoting yourself and collaborations with others. That was a nugget. Having discernment and not saying yes just because there's a nice check attached to it was another important nugget. Basically, Bevy drops so much game in this book, and it comes from personal experience. So you can literally use her experiences as a guide, if you will, to maneuvering through some aspects of, again, not only your personal life, but also your professional career. If you are deciding to go into the entertainment business or any business, really. Yes, I read this book with Bevy's voice in my head and try to have her voice just be the read along. Now, I would say if she were to do an audio book, she should do it herself. Just FYI. Just a little nugget. I would like to have Bevy go more in depth about herself beyond the relation to her career. But Bevy hints that there may be books in the future that reveal other juicy aspects of her life. So she must keep those coins coming, darling. The nuggets she gave about other aspects of her life definitely has me interested. So I will be waiting for more of Miss Bevy, okay? I will let you read the book to find out all the details about Miss Bevy and her life. I'm definitely checking Bevy out on her radio segment Bevelations on Sirius XM or Sirius XM, however you say it. Bevy, I thank you for your candidness and reaching back and relaying your experience as an African American woman in the industry so that others can learn from it. I give this book a 4.5 out of 5. Subscribe, click like, share. If you've read the book, comment your thoughts. And until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers.